So hey guys, and thanks for joining me for another video. Welcome to the Random Watch Dude channel. My name's Mark and I'm just a watch addict who makes video logs about my journey through the addiction, which is the watch hobby, the watch collecting hobby. And today is New Year's Day, so Happy New Year to you all. Happy New Year. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, welcome. If you've watched my videos before and you're a subscriber, thank you very much and Happy New Year. It's the first day of 2025 today. So there are lots of things that obviously a watch addict starts to consider on the first day of a new year. And one of the things they start to consider, of course, is what they're going to add to their collection in 2025. Now, I'm no different. I've been thinking about what I want to add to my collection in 2025. And I've been thinking about, different aspects of what I want to achieve in 2025. And of course, the most important thing that affects us all in this hobby is cost, isn't it? It's the price. This is not a cheap hobby, is it? This is not a cheap hobby to be in. It doesn't matter what level you're talking about here. It doesn't matter whether you're talking about Timex or Seiko or Tag or Longines or Tudor or Omega or Rolex or Patek or A Longchamp or whatever you want to call that, however you want to pronounce it. All of these brands, pricing is relative, and none of them, let's be honest with you, compared to some hobbies, none of these watch brands are cheap, are they, really? So the most important thing to us, of course, is the price. And let's just cut to the chase, guys. Let's just cut to the chase. January the 1st. January the 1st. This is typically when we see a lot of price increases. So on December the 31st, I logged down all of the prices for watches which I either own or aspire to own. And today, January the 1st, I've now logged the new prices for those watches, and we're just going to run through them quickly in this video. But before we get into it, let's run the new intro. Okay guys, so I'm going to start as I normally do with Tudor, with my favourite watch brand at the moment, Tudor. So what have Tudor done on January the 1st, 2025? Okay, so on the 31st of December, the Tudor Pelagos FXD Marine Nationale, this watch here that I already own, had a New Zealand dollar price of 6,830. And as of January the 1st today, that price has now gone up to 7,140. That is a 4.5% increase. Now, when I look across the board, across all of the Tudor steel models, that appears to be, here in New Zealand, it appears to be a 4.5% price increases across the steel range. Now, I also made a point of looking at the gold watches because, just to let you into a little secret, guys, I've got a bit of a thing for gold right now, and I've never really been a blingy gold kind of guy, but I am starting to think about maybe a bit of gold in the collection moving forward. So I looked at the Black Bay 58, which is 18 karat gold. Very, very nice looking model. In New Zealand dollars, yesterday that was 52,600 New Zealand dollars, and as of today, January the 1st, it's $55,900. That's a 6% price increase. Now, it's a lot of money, but a 6% price increase on a solid gold watch isn't actually that bad when you consider that steel went up 4.5%. The fact that, because gold, as you probably know, has gone up exponentially during the course of this year. So gold went up 6% on Tudor. Moving on to Omega. Now, interestingly enough, Omega haven't really done an awful lot of price increases over the last couple of years. The last price increase they did was actually in about, I think, October, November this year. So I really wasn't expecting Omega to do a price increase for the 1st of January, and they haven't. So I looked at the Seamasters, the new no-date Seamaster, the current iteration of the Seamaster with the date, which is, my suspicion is that's going to be upgraded or replaced with a newer iteration in 2025. Those prices are still the same, as is the White Speedy, which is another watch that I quite like. The White Speedy is still 13,450 New Zealand dollars, which is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but it hasn't gone up. Now, Rolex. What did Rolex do? What did Rolex do? Because that's what we're all interested in, isn't it? So big rumours on the internet. There were loads and loads of rumours in the last week or so on the internet about Rolex put in 10, 12, 14% price increases on all their gold models. Well, that is actually borne true. But I'll start with the steel models. The Submariner yesterday was $16,200, and I'm talking about New Zealand dollars, and I'm talking about the standard Submariner, the OG Submariner, not the Submariner date. That was 16,200, and as of the 1st of January it's 16,550, so that's gone up 2%. The Riddler, the GMT Master 2 Riddler, with the VTNR, or the Sprite as some of you like to call it, was 19,750 yesterday, and today it's $20,300. It's gone up 2.8%. Excuse me, I'm reading some notes here because I cannot possibly remember all of these numbers, so I am reading off of some notes that I've written. 2.8% on the GMT Master 2. Interesting that the GMT Master 2 went up more than the Submariner, despite the fact that they're both steel models. Now, another interesting thing is the Explorer 36. I don't have an Explorer 36, but I kept an eye on it. That was 12,700 New Zealand dollars yesterday. Today it's 13,050. That's gone up 2.8%. So it's interesting, the Submariner only went up 2%. The Explorer 36 went up nearly 3%. Don't know why, but they've obviously decided that they want a little bit more profit margin out of the Explorer, and it makes sense because it is a cheaper model. It's a cheaper, what some might consider entry-level model, although I don't think there is such a thing realistically as entry-level when it comes to Rolex. But that's interesting that some of the steel models have gone up more than the others. Anyway, the Submariner date in solid gold. Now there's a watch I have my eye on. The Submariner date in solid gold. Okay, so yesterday that was $71,500 a pinch. I mean, pocket money, 71,500 New Zealand dollars. Today it's 77,800. It's gone up the price of a Tudor Black Bay. It's gone up the price of a Tudor Black Bay overnight, guys. It's gone up 9%. 9%, I tell you. And the Deepsea Gold, you know, the Deepsea Gollum's Cave watch. The watch that I could never own and never wear, but I love, and it is my grail that I will never achieve. Yesterday was 95,700 New Zealand dollars. Today, 104,100 New Zealand dollars. It's gone up 9%. 9% on the Gollum watch. So if you have a Gollum watch, or if you have any gold Rolex watches, the retail of those has just gone up nearly 10% in a day. So well done, guys. You know, I know that you can get most of these gold watches cheaper on the secondary market now, but hey, if you wanted to buy a brand new gold Rolex watch from an AD, you would have got it 10% cheaper yesterday than you can now. So well done if you did get one recently. And I just wanted to finish on two-tone, because we knew that Rolex were putting their gold prices up by more, and I was interested to see, or intrigued to see, what they were going to do with their two-tone watches. So I picked a Datejust two-tone. I picked actually what I consider to be the nicest looking two-tone Datejust, and it's a 36mm with obviously the Jubilee bracelet. You can't have a Datejust that's not on a Jubilee bracelet, in my opinion. And obviously it's a gold, yellow gold roller saw Datejust. It's got the fluted gold bezel, and I like it with the white face. I think that contrasts really nicely with the gold and steel. So I'll just put a picture of it up here. Yesterday that was 23,450 New Zealand dollars. Today it's 25,100. So two-tone, based on that, and I haven't just extrapolating that across the range, I think two-tone's gone up about 7%. About 7%. So guys, yeah, it's like, you know, it really is a case of boo-hoo, isn't it? If you're on the list, particularly if you're on the list for a gold Rolex, you know, you'll be pretty upset, I think, to see some of these massive price increases. I mean, to see a Deepsea Gold go up the price that it has, you know, it's gone up, for me, it's gone up nearly 10,000 New Zealand dollars. You know, that's a lot of money. I can buy a bloody nice steel watch for that. So just goes to show how higher up the league, you know, solid gold watches are. And, you know, I guess some people might say that if you can afford $96,000 nearly for a Gold Deepsea, you can probably afford the 9% extra. And if you can't, you probably couldn't afford it before the price increase anyway. There's a lot of logic in that, by the way. And I've always been clear that I couldn't afford it at 96, and I certainly couldn't afford it at 104. It makes no odds to me, actually. Although the Submariner Date Gold, you know, that was achievable. You know, I could have made something happen with the Submariner Date Gold. I could have made something happen there, but it's just gone up the price of a Black Bay overnight. So that's made it quite painful now. That's made it quite painful. So guys, that was it. That was just a quick video just to talk about. Now these are just the New Zealand price increases, of course. Now price increases do vary around the world, and hey, you know, you guys are based all over the world. You know, when I look at where some of you guys are from, you know, the States, Germany, Indonesia, Bali, Fiji, Tonga, Iceland, Madagascar. You know, you're everywhere. It's great. I just think this is awesome, you know, that we've got people watching these kinds of videos from all over the planet. And of course, where you've got a Rolex AD somewhere on the planet, you will not necessarily be seeing the same price increases that I've seen here in New Zealand, but I think this is probably reflective of what you'll see globally, you know, within a 1% or 2 either way. Anyway guys, that was it. I don't really have any thoughts to share on the price increases. They're not something that came unexpectedly. It is January the 1st and we typically see price increases, so it will be interesting just to see what happens on the secondary market, I think, over the course of the first few months of this year. I have a feeling that the secondary market prices will raise, and I guess I can finish this video by saying, because I've already predicted that the secondary market prices will raise, when you look at the fact that Tudor and Rolex have just put up the retail prices, that will support, almost certainly, that will support a raise in the secondary market prices as well. So just keep that in mind, guys. Thanks for watching the video. That's all I'm going to say for now, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Cheers.